Ngozi was on her knees. Tears ran down her face as she held tightly to her husband's leg. "Okeke, please," she cried, her voice shaking. "Do not do this to me." Okeke's face was hard like stone. "I have already made my decision," he said coldly. "My father's lineage cannot end with daughters." Ngozi held his leg tighter. "3 children, Okeke," she sobbed. "3 daughters, and you already want another wife?" Her voice broke as she continued. "Have you forgotten everything so quickly?" She looked up at him, searching his face. "Do you remember the days we went to the stream together? Do you remember how the whole village used to say our love was so strong?" Okeke said nothing. Ngozi's tears fell onto the dusty ground. "You used to tell me I was your blessing," she whispered. "You used to say our home would always be filled with laughter." Her voice trembled. "So what changed?" She shook her head slowly. "Okeke, this is not your voice speaking anymore." She pointed weakly toward the village. "These are the voices of people, the voices of those who sit under trees and gossip about other people's homes. They are the ones filling your ears. They are the ones destroying your heart." For a moment, silence hung in the air. Then suddenly, Okeke pulled his leg away. His voice became sharp. "I am not discussing this again." Ngozi lost her balance and fell to the floor. Okeke did not look back. "I am bringing a second wife," he said firmly. "And that is the end of it." He turned and walked away. Ngozi remained on the ground. Her shoulders shook as quiet sobs escaped her chest. The same man who once held her hand under the moonlight, the same man who once told her she was his greatest blessing, was now walking away from her. And she did not know yet that this decision would one day destroy everything he was trying to protect. This story happened long ago in an Igbo community called Umuaka, when the earth roads were still red and dusty, when the sounds of pistols hitting mortar echoed every morning, and when the opinions of villagers could shape the destiny of a family. In that village lived a young man named Okeke. Okeke came from a respected lineage. His father had been known as a man whose words carried weight in the council of elders. Because of that, many people in the village expected Okeke to grow into a proud and successful man. And for many years, it seemed they were right. Okeke was strong, hardworking, and confident. When he walked through the village square, he greeted elders respectfully and laughed easily with his friends. But the most surprising thing about Okeke was not his strength or his family name. It was the way he loved his wife. Her name was Ngozi. Ngozi was not the loud kind of beauty that makes people turn their heads immediately. Her beauty was quiet, was gentle, the kind that grew stronger the longer you looked. She spoke softly, she worked hard, she respected everyone, both young and old. When Okeke married her, the whole village talked about it for weeks. People would whisper to each other while watching them pass. "Look at the way Okeke looks at his wife." Someone would say, "That one truly married with his heart." Another would reply, "And truly, they loved each other." In the mornings, they went to the stream together to fetch water. On the farm, they walked side by side, clearing weeds and planting crops under the hot sun. In the evenings, when the compound became quiet and the moon rose above the palm trees, they would sit outside their hut and talk about their future. Okeke would say proudly, "Our compound will soon be full of children." He would laugh and add, "I want many sons who will carry my name." Ngozi would smile gently and reply, "As long as they come healthy, That is enough. For a long time, their family continued like that until the day Ngozi became pregnant with their first child. Okeke was so happy that he could hardly hide it. He told everyone. He boasted in the village square. He even sent gifts of palm wine and kola nuts to Ngozi's parents to thank them for raising such a good wife. When the time for the baby to be born came, the women of the village gathered around Ngozi to help her through the long and painful labor. Outside the hut, Okeke walked back and forth nervously. Then finally, the cry of a newborn baby filled the air. The midwife came out smiling. "It's a girl," she announced. There was a small pause, but Okeke smiled. That night, there was food, laughter, and quiet celebration. Weeks passed, and people began to say something that is very common in many villages. "Next one will surely be a boy," they said. When Ngozi became pregnant again, everyone expected the long-awaited son. But when the baby arrived, it was another girl. This time, the reaction was different. People still congratulated them, but the excitement was smaller. At the naming ceremony, someone joked, "Well, at least the compound will be full of women." And people laughed. Okeke laughed too, but Ngozi noticed something in that laugh. It sounded forced. After that day, Okeke slowly began to change. He still loved Ngozi, but the warmth behind them became weaker. When she became pregnant the third time, the whole village watched closely. People whispered, they counted, and when the baby was born, it was another girl. This time, Okeke did not rush inside the hut to carry the child. He remained outside for a long time. That night, he said something that planted fear in Ngozi's heart. He looked at her and said quietly, "Other women know how these things work." Ngozi did not understand what he meant, but she felt the distance growing between them. When she became pregnant for the fourth time, Okeke made a decision that shocked many people. Before the sun reached the middle of the sky, whispers had begun moving from one compound to another. "Have you heard? Okeke is bringing another wife today." "Ah, is it true?" "They say it is because Ngozi has only given him daughters." By evening, the entire compound seemed to be holding its breath. Inside the house, Ngozi sat quietly on the wooden stool. Her hands were resting on her wrapper, but they would not stay still. Her fingers kept twisting the fabric. Her heart was beating so loud, she could almost hear it. Every small sound from the road made her chest tighten. Was it him? Was he really going to do it? She remembered the way she had cried the night before, the way she had held his leg and begged him not to destroy their home. Part of her still believed that when Okeke left the compound that morning, he might return alone.